Welcome to the Explainer. Let's jump right into it. Today, we're unpacking a totally new blueprint for verifiable AI and crypto risk intelligence. If you've been following this space, you know that securing trusted, decentralized data pipelines is a massive architectural challenge right now. We're looking at how two innovators, Codatta and CipherOwl, are attempting to build a new standard to solve this. Before we get into the mechanics of the solution, we've got to look at the sheer scale of the issue. So ask yourself, what is the fatal flaw shared by both AI and crypto? It's a foundational vulnerability, and it honestly threatens the very systems we're relying on to build the future. It all boils down to this: bad data guarantees bad outcomes. You know the phrase, garbage in, garbage out, right? In AI, mislabeled training sets introduce systemic biases right into the models. And in Web3, fragmented intelligence across all these isolated blockchains creates massive security blind spots. It doesn't matter if you're training a complex neural network or securing a DeFi protocol. If that foundational data lacks verification, the entire architecture is compromised. Let's get into Section 1, the bad data crisis and the invisible walls holding back innovation. Fixing this data bottleneck isn't as simple as just scraping better data from the internet. We're hitting three invisible walls here. First up, geopolitical and jurisdictional data restrictions. You can't just pull data from anywhere. Borders exist in the digital world too. Second, there is a total lack of provenance or attribution for contributors. Think about it. If you don't know exactly where a piece of information came from, how can you possibly trust it? And third, opaque compliance risks for institutions and developers. These barriers make gathering trustworthy data legally complex and incredibly risky for major institutions trying to operate by the book. Moving on to Section 2, the decentralized solution. Basically, two halves of a perfect machine. Okay, let's dive into this slide. To tear down those invisible walls, Codatta and CipherOwl are combining their specific infrastructures. Over on the left, you've got CipherOwl acting as the legal quality assurance border. They provide the validation infrastructure. This includes zero-knowledge-powered provenance for sensitive data, JSON-based formats for machine-readable signals, and open-source risk taxonomies like Microscope. They bring rigorous security and structure. Then on the right, Codatta provides the worldwide network. They operate a decentralized data sourcing and labeling protocol powered by human contributors all across the globe. These contributors submit high-quality data and earn royalties in return. Together, they create a secure, compliant, community-driven data layer. Which brings us to Section 3. Let's look at a real-world example of navigating geopolitical friction. To make these abstract compliance concepts deeply practical, consider this very real legal roadblock. A U.S. institution cannot directly scrape data from sanctioned Russian exchanges. This is a strict cross-border legal constraint. An institution sitting in New York simply cannot legally ping a sanctioned server in Russia to gather risk intelligence. It's an invisible wall that completely halts data collection, leaving massive gaps in an institution's threat detection and risk intelligence models. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how this partnership transforms a highly complex legal impasse into a really elegant community-sourced workflow. Let's look at step 1. Instead of the institutions scraping the data themselves, a verified Russian contributor actually on the ground submits a wallet screenshot linking to that exchange through Codatta. Then, in step 2, CipherOwl steps in to provide clear data attestation and zero-knowledge provenance. They're validating the data without exposing the sensitive underlying identity of the submitter. And finally, step 3. Because of this specific workflow, that data now becomes legally compliant to use under certain U.S. legal frameworks. Without this combination of decentralized human contributors and structured cryptographic validation, accessing this data legally would be completely impossible. All right, Section 4, the core benefits. Setting a new benchmark for data. Combining legal-first standards with decentralized contributors is a massive leap forward, and it rests on 5 pillars. First, it's trustworthy. All contributors are verified, and the data is cryptographically attested. Second, it's scalable. Literally anyone, anywhere in the world can contribute to the network. Third, it's compliant. As we just saw, it's specifically built to align with incredibly complex cross-border legal constraints. Fourth, it's interoperable. The risk data is machine-readable and integrates seamlessly right into existing AI and crypto systems. And finally, it's incentivized. Contributors are rewarded with ongoing royalties when their data is used. This infrastructure actively aligns the incentives of the individual with the compliance needs of the institution. And that leads us to Section 5, your role and rewards, empowering the everyday hero. Because look, this infrastructure isn't just about high-level institutions, it's about the personal impact on you. By merging Codatta's protocol with CipherOwl's validation layer, everyday users become the key players here. You can submit the exact hard-to-source data that massive institutions cannot access directly. By doing so, you're actively helping to build safer, smarter, and way more compliant AI and crypto ecosystems. You're unlocking brand new earning opportunities, collecting ongoing royalties whenever your verifiable data is utilized to power AI models or risk systems. It raises the quality and transparency of the whole industry, and it puts the power back in the hands of the global community. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this. We are entering a new, verifiable data economy where your unique vantage point has real, tangible value. Take a second to think about your own expertise, your region, your digital footprint. What hard-to-source data will you contribute to the future?